Hello everyone, and welcome back to CGG, or at least that's what it's called when I did this. Yeah, it is indeed still called that because of a stupid glitch that I hate and I think is terrible, but that's okay. Today we're doing the Iron Man review. First movie review. I'm very excited, can't wait. I have it, I'm ready. So part the first, the introduction. Iron Man is the first film in this Marvel Cinematic Universe, coming out in, 2008, a whole 11 years ago. While this movie is far from the best in the MCU, it sets the stage well and sets up Tony Stark / Iron Man, who is effectively the franchise's main character through its first three phases. It also gets up some of the tropes that have become common in MCU movies, such as the post-credits scene. What's ironic is that this film's post-credits scene effectively sets up the entire first phase of the MCU, yet because post-credit scenes were uncommon and the majority of people likely didn't know to look out for it, the majority of people probably missed it. Nonetheless, it's time to dive into the plot of Iron Man. So that brings us to part the second, the plot. I quite like this movie's plot. The movie begins with Tony Stark, billionaire and CEO of weapons company Stark Industries, showing off new missile technology to the military. This scene is great because it shows us just about everything we need to know about Tony. Traits he will keep throughout his entire run in the MCU, such as his cockiness, are shown here, as well as his negative traits that he will lose over the course of his character development in this movie. Tony's friend, not Don Cheadle, is also introduced here, but he's not that important, honestly. I mean, come on. Through a series of unfortunate events, Tony gets kidnapped by terrorists and locked in a cave. They tell him to build him a weapon, but he builds Iron Man instead. He does this with the help of his translator, whomst I don't care for. I don't much care for him. The translator, is a character that just gets some surface-level character development. They try to play him off like he's someone we should care about, but he just isn't. It's just enough character development to be annoying. They build him up for like a few seconds, and then he dies. He just dies. So Tony breaks out using his Iron Man suit after the translator dies, which is it's a nice, neat action scene. When he gets back to America, he sits on the floor, eats a burger, and announces that he isn't going to make weapons anymore. This scene introduces the main villain, the Dude, who I hate most of all. Even though he's really kind of above average for a Marvel movie, because most villains in Marvel movies kind of suck. After that announcement, Tony works on the new Iron Man suit. This one a bit more refined than the one he built in the cave in a few months. The trouble he has in learning to use his suit actually ends up creating a minor plot hole in Iron Man 2, the acclaimed sequel, which will be covered eventually on this channel. Once the new suit is working, he goes and saves a village in the Middle East somewhere, and has a run-in with the Chair Force. This scene is really dumb. Tony is on the phone with his friend, not Don Cheadle, the whole time, trying to keep him from shooting him down, and then Tony just straight up tells not Don Cheadle that he's Iron Man. Foreshadowing, I guess? Then not Don Cheadle gets mad for some reason. I don't know, it's confusing and kind of dumb. Meanwhile, the Dude goes and gets the original Iron Man plans. This is stupid and a waste of time. He doesn't even need the plans and ends up making something completely different anyways. But what I really don't understand is why the Dude hates Tony. I get that he wants to make money. That's as good of a motivation as any, but it's a bit irrational for him to just start hating his former partner out of the blue. There's nothing showing the breakdown of their relationship. It just kind of happens with little explanation. Then the Dude goes to Tony's house to paralyze him and take his heart reactor thing, or whatever it is. Stupidest scene. He already took the plans. I don't get it. What does he need this for? Why not steal one of Tony's now many functional Iron Man suits, or just ask him if he was building anything, because they were partners. Building anything, such as a robot suit of some description, perhaps one that would be good for combat. Maybe he would call it like Steel Man or something. Certainly not Iron Man. I mean, who would make a robotic combat suit out of a metal like iron? Then the dude is still having trouble building the suit. Except he isn't, because then they do it just fine. With no help from the scientist dude, who's also in Spider-Man Far From Home. Put up a picture of that guy. So that brings us to the final fight scene, which kinda sucks. They fly up into the air and Tony says, "How'd you fix the freezing problem?" The dude's suit freezes and he falls to his death. Except he didn't die and he's actually pretty much just fine. Tony then tells Pepper to flip the master switch, trademarked, which kills the dude. Tony also gets hit by the ensuing big blue sky laser, trademarked, but nothing happens to him. The next day, Tony announces to the world that he is Iron Man, and we get to listen to some Black Sabbath. Pretty epic. In the post-credit scene, Mace Windu tells Tony about the Strategic Homeland International Epic League of Dudes, or whatever, and that isn't really the only superhero. Then the start of the Avengers. A multi-billion-dollar film franchise. Part the third, the characters. Tony Stark is a cool dude. Robert Downey Jr. was perfectly casted. He is Iron Man. He is by far one of the best main characters of any superhero movie. He's also a total dick, and I like that. Not Don Cheadle is just a plot device. He doesn't do much outside of the chair force scene, which is this is also one of the worst parts of the movie. He's also not Don Cheadle, which clearly means he's inferior to, Don Cheadle. Salt and Pepper Potts is meh. She's fairly bland and uninteresting in this one. The big Villainowski sucks. Finally, the translator, not Jason Statham, he dies just quick enough for the character to feel pointless. Part the fourth. This movie is good. The first half in particular is pretty awesome. It does fall apart in the end, especially with what happens to the villain. I would rank this my 10th favorite out of the 22 current MCU movies. Almost dead average. Up next will be The Incredible Hulk. Spoiler alert, I hate this movie. It is by far the worst MCU movie. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you are too. Although I must say, one little note that I actually didn't put in the script is that I just noticed that in the final fight scene, the dude, the CGI where his suit is open, you can see his face. It's really bad. It literally just looks like his face is kind of floating there. Not actually in the suit. It just kind of looks like it's floating on top, which I don't think is what they were going for. But, that's fine, I guess. So, yeah. Incredible Hulk. It's bad. It's definitely the worst. Maybe not by that far, because Thor: The Dark World is pretty bad. But I can't wait to do more movie reviews. I hope you like this video. Please, if you disagree with anything I said, remember, it is just my opinion. So, don't, get mad at me because you disagree with my opinion. And if you do disagree, then comment down below about what you disagree with and why. Please voice your opinion, and see you guys next time on what I want this channel to be called, The Gaming Movie Jerks, or what it actually is right now, CGG. See you guys next time.